I have marigolds, and I'm going to be planting them in the garden. I forgot to mention I have petunias as well, so I'll be planting those. But first, marigolds. I have 3 marigolds to be planted, well, 3 squares to plant in my garden. Marigolds are going up here, I have another set right here, and then I have some marigold petunias in this bottom corner. Don't ask me why they're all spread out. It was just an experiment. This is the first year that we're actually gonna have a garden. So I have 3 different plans for each, well, I have 2 different plans. This is the first plan for the first box, and then the other 2 boxes have a different type of planting style. Off the legend, we are going to be planting a couple marigolds in this square, and I will show you that now. Next stop is right here. I'm planting a couple marigolds right next to this spout. I don't really want to put any, I didn't feel like putting anything that would get really bushy and kind of obstruct this. So that's why I decided to put some flowers there. We'll see how it goes. So my petunias are going to be going in this lovely corner of the garden bed right here, but the shade cloth is in the way, so I'm gonna have to adjust that. Similar to the other side, we had a squash already over there, kind of jerry-rigged a post, homemade, to kind of get the shade cloth situated. So I'm gonna do that right now, and then I'll plant them. So I essentially found some wood, took a hammer to it, peeled a piece apart. I know it doesn't look great, but it is temporary. I will find a more permanent solution in the future. So I'm just gonna hammer it right into the ground right here. Yeah, just like that. I use a rubber mallet because usually like metal tends to like break things. And there you go. All I need is like a foot or so, just enough to be above the flowers. So I've already anchored this through an I hook and then another S hook with the tarp or a shade cloth. But I'm gonna make an adjustment. I'm gonna do a drill a pilot hole here for the I hook, and then we'll attach the shade cloth to that. So I've removed the fisheye from down there, or the eye hook, sorry, and then I'm screwing it in first by hand. Can't get it super far, so I just use this plumber's screw, which works perfectly, and I have the leverage of my screwdriver right in there. Hopefully this doesn't pry it apart, but it's doing a little bit. That's why I do a pilot hole. I drill a pilot hole with just a bit that's slightly smaller than the eye hook, so it still has grip. But then just use the S, hook it on, voila. So now that we got the flowers all planted, this is what it looks like. We got our marigolds, and we got our petunias. Those are going to attract pollinators and also help kind of attract a few of the pests from our other plants. Now, we did seed sow like the entire garden, except for our tomatoes. This is a squash that was voluntary from last year, and the far squash over there is a pumpkin in the corner. And yeah, those were both volunteer, so technically they were from seed, but we just planted the rest of our seeds just yesterday. So we finished those. It's a beautiful evening, nice and cloud covered, so that it's not too hot here in Utah. But yeah, things are looking good. And just to follow up on my jerry rig, it is very much so jerry rigged. I twisted this to kind of keep tension, otherwise it would droop too far onto the flowers. But hey, whatever works, right? So now Kate and I are going to be planting the rest of the marigolds in our other 2 planter boxes. These ones are the ones that I said had a different layout for the flowers. They're going to be more in rows rather than just kind of scattered throughout like this box.
We're also going to have sweet potato vines.
Yes, we also have sweet potato vine that we bought. Those were designed to kind of trail over some of these corners and then kind of trail onto the path and kind of look all, I don't know, vegetative and covered with vegetation.
Yeah, just
kind of
cover these blocks, which are not the most aesthetically pleasing, I would say. So
yeah,
that
so
was the idea.
Helps the boxes look a little bit nicer. So the 2 sweet potato vine varieties that we got are bronze, which is this really pretty darker color, and lime sweet potato vine. Those are going to trail over the edge of the garden beds and hopefully kind of just green up this whole space. All right, we're partway through. Cade has almost completed this box. See, we have a row there, and we have a row right there underneath the shade cloth. I actually ended up having to put stakes in on the front of these, so all 3 of them actually look pretty uniform. So that's a good thing. I'll do a final video once we have finished planting everything into the garden beds. Should be really good. I'm excited because then we won't really have anything left to plant in the garden beds until the seeds start sprouting, and then maybe we have some weeds pop up, but luckily we haven't had any so far. So stay tuned for that. So we have everything planted, got everything done, and so I will run through and show you some video of the completed planting of our petunias, marigolds, and our sweet potato vine.